Oh, there's light at the end of the tunnel for you Saga fans.
Oh no.
Waiting for the Age of Magic. Oh, we finally know when you can get your grubby mitts on it.
Yes.
Some
yes,
of us.
we do.
Some of us can get
Some
our
of us
grubby
can.
mitts on it.
Yeah, so it's going to be released to everybody on the 22nd of April.
Yeah.
But if you want to pre-order it and get it ahead of a lot of other people, you can head to Salute this year and pick it up. But you have to order it through Gripping Beast and pick it up at the event. So just make sure of that. You can't. There might be a run on this, so make sure that you've actually got it pre-ordered and ready to pick up from the event. So, yeah, it is definitely now got a release date. It is definitely coming out. There are going to be 6 factions in the book that are sort of like generically fantasy based, so you can use all your different armies. There's going to be options for legendary units and warriors for all the different sort of armies that you've got in there, including monsters and that kind of thing. Yeah. There's also going to be new rules for magic. There's going to be a whole grimoire of spell cards as well included there too. And it seems like a lot of people are going to be picking this up. And with Warlords of Erewhon out there as well, people are really getting back into their fantasy thing. So a very cool set of releases.
Just to be clear, in case you've been under a rock, because we've been just looking at pictures and stuff, those miniatures and stuff that you're seeing are not Gripping Beast miniatures. No. This Age of Magic book is all about, people taking their fantasy collections that they have and re-injecting them in. They're not actually making a miniatures range. No. They're not even really fleshing out factions in terms of fluff and stuff.
No, none of that. No, it is solely 6 different faction boards, but by that it's Horde is a faction board. Now, Horde might mean that you've gone for Skaven because they've got a lot of Skaven, or maybe it's goblins, or maybe it's some sort of fantasy-esque version of the Golden Horde, and you're going lots of little men on little ponies devastating everything in their path. It's entirely up to you how you interpret what army you have as to playing on what board. So potentially you could get an army and go, this week I want to play it as this battle board, but equally it might fit into this battle board, and then you play the first one and go, no, it doesn't suit my play style, swap it over. Because it's not, this is an orc board, this is an elf board, it's just the only one I think that even comes close to being tied down like that is undead. Yeah. I think there is a specific undead board, but beyond that, the rest of them are just very generic, very plug and play, essentially. And we are seeing a lot of that. I mean, the fact that you can get your old fantasy miniatures out and play Warlords of Erewhon or play Saga,
this is it,
using the same miniatures and have 2 very different games.
There's over the last few years, there's quite a few fantasy-esque players found themselves dislodged, you might say. Age of Sigmar has been going great guns. So even you can take Age of Sigmar miniatures and play this as well. Yeah. You can do the crossover there, which is cool because, believe me or not, Saga's pretty wee buns a game to get into because the whole thing runs off the battle board.
It's the battle board. And I mean, for people who, you could potentially pick this up and have this and Warlord sitting on your shelf. They both have a very similar model count for what you're going to be playing with, but how those 2 games play out are entirely different.
Yeah,
and the feel you get from both of them. So you can have a more in-depth gamey feel with Warlords of Erewhon, where you're having to think more about building because you're actually going, I want that unit to have a sword.
This
I want
is
that
the new
unit
game
to have,
from Warlord.
Yeah. I want that unit over there to have spangly armor. I want this hero to have that. So you're micromanaging each unit. So there's more time investment in that, but you get that sort of, the command and control feel of having built your army to perform in a certain way, and you know what they're going to do. Yeah. And then you could take the same army the next week, fire it on the table in about 2 minutes flat using one of the battle boards from Age of Magic, and have a completely different game, even though you're playing the same 2 forces against each other on the same board with the same terrain.
Which is cool because you've got your
I've got so much.
One of the things you're dusting off is your Rackham range.
Yes. Oh god, yeah. And the nice thing about Rackham is they were sold mainly in boxes of 8, which, as we know, for Saga is a warrior unit size. So, I have so many boxes sitting there, all stacked up already, filled with, I've got the Keltos Caesar warriors.
Now, is this the ones you have to paint, or is this the pre-painted range?
Oh, no, they're all the ones you have to paint.
Oh, you're never going to see that anytime soon.
No, you're never going to see that.
Is this just in your man cave of desperation of never painting this stuff?
But no. I did start painting. Now, you weren't here, so you wouldn't know. I did start painting my ogres because I could use them in Vanguard, and those ogres are lovely. And then I dropped them on the way home from here 2 weeks ago, and every one of them broke. And I just looked at the box and went, no.
Oh, the pain inside.
So I just pushed that to one side. I'm going to do some other things first and come back. But I've got a few other armies kicking around that are painted that I'm going to try and get a run out with first, just to get games of both Erewhon and Saga in.
This reminds me, I need to go and get 30 quid to give to you.
You do.
So you can pre-order
so
me a copy.
You copy as well.
So we can both be on there.
Yeah.
Because
we're not going to Salute to work. We're going to buy Lloyd stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you don't nip in, Griffin Beast has this terrible habit of books going out of print.
Yes.
Like, do you remember that Age of Crusades book that you ordered for me?
Yes.
And then you ordered the wrong book instead.
In my defense, I didn't
and now it's out of stock and I can't get it anywhere.
I didn't order the wrong book. I ordered the right book because we've been talking about the scenario book for Saga coming for so long. And I finally went, it's finally coming out. I can pre-order it now. And she went, oh yeah, get me one. And I ordered it and went, the book's here. And we've been subsequently talking about Crusades at some point. And you went, this isn't the Crusade book. I went, no, this is the scenario book we've been waiting on for a year.
It's like when you handed it to me, I was like, this is so thin.
This isn't what I want.
The battle boards. That's not the book I ordered. But in actual fact, I'm quite happy you ordered that one because the thing about the scenarios book is if you're going to play scenarios, it's good for you both to have books that you can mull over at home, and then you can come and go, did you see that scenario? Yes, rather than someone to have to go, let's do this and try and explain everything.
Yeah. Well, the scenario book's handy because if you're not aware of Saga, the rule book is very cheap. The rule book's like £10-15. Yeah. I think it's a tenner actually.
Something like that.
Yeah, and it's tiny, but regardless of whether you're going to play Age of Magic, Dark Age,
the rule book's tiny, but you need to buy a book that has battle boards.
So any of these actual universe books all work off the same mini rule book and mini scenario book. So those two books, regardless of what you're going to play, are handy to have. But,
Ben, are you going to be dusting off any minis?
Come on, play Saga with us. I'm quite tempted
by this. Like, I did see this and I was thinking about it, but I think I would more veer towards Warlords of Erewhon, I think. Yeah. I kind of enjoy what they're doing with that mechanically, and I like the whole sort of dice in the bag kind of thing as well. So, of the two, I think I'd prefer Warlords of Erewhon. But
the fact that you can do both with one army is great. So it'll be Burrows and Badgers in Erewhon and in...
I could do exactly that. I've got enough of them. So.
Yeah. Do that. Bring them over here. Play us.
And I'm still looking to build my Skelly army.
Skelly Bobs.
Because like the Wargames Factory stuff's been reincarnated into the Warlord game. Yeah. And I seen someone put a picture of it on Facebook recently and I was going, I really should get a box of them.
Yeah.
They look really nice. I even think there might even be a box of them floating around in here somewhere.
Yeah. You'll find I've already assembled 5 of them with a random assortment of weapons, so unlucky.
Because I got my Games Workshop box of Skellies, not a big 50 quid box. Yeah. With the big beastie that I don't want, but I upsold myself. So I was standing looking at one box, and the guy comes over, and I think, I can resist. And then he uses this Jedi mind trick on me.
Look into the eyes, not around the eyes, look into my eyes, not around the eyes, not above the eyes, not below the eyes, look into my eyes.
And sells me the whole starter kit. He's like, yeah, because you'll get your skeleton warriors, and you'll get your mounted skeletons, and then you get your big beastie for essentially £2. And I went, a big beastie for £2? Here's my 50 quid. And I walked out. And I looked at it and went, why in the hell did I just buy this? I only went in for a box of Skeleton Bloody Warriors. See, I totally got upsell. Look at this shit that Anyway, I need to build those. And then I could be playing those in Age of Sigmar, Age of Magic.
Warlords of Erewhon.
Yep. Oh man, it's so good to be in the fantasy realm at this point. You've got like so many options.
Future's bright.
Oh, so bright.